Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Karin, whereby I have weekly, daily conversations with you regarding life. Unlocking, should I say, your full potential, shift, change, and grow through our conversations. Today, I have a guest with me, Charla Grantham, and I hope I've pronounced her surname correctly because she just informed me I always pronounce it incorrectly, whereby through her future podcasts that she will be doing in the future, perfectly empowering women to live bravely and authentically. Whereby we will be sharing the floor and assisting you to unlock your full potential. So the conversation today is about landmarks. When we are given directions to a place, for example, we are given or we look for landmarks to get to our destination. Example, somebody will tell you you'll find a petrol or diesel station on the left-hand side at this robot. Okay, overseas don't call it robots, a traffic light, and you will turn left, even on a GPS. It also gives you landmarks. Example, it will tell you a turn off name, or it will tell you in 50 meters, turn right. And when we are young, we use landmarks such as inspiring to be just like mum, or just like dad, or a specific actor or actress, or a doctor. What do we use as our landmarks to move forward on our journey? Have you heard of the phrase? And I'm going to this is just a seed. You're going to say, now, where does this fit into the conversation? Have you ever heard of the phrase, your brain is your strongest muscle? Use it wisely. It's food for thought. And this food for thought is going to go through the conversation. We're not going to mention it again, but it has to do with that strongest muscle. So, I want to welcome Charla. Welcome, Charla.
Hi there. Thank you very, very much, Karin, for having me with you. It's Grantham. So, yes, it is. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm loving today's topic as well of landmarks. So, it's really interesting and ready to get into the conversation.
I'll get it right one day. By the way,
One day. Doesn't bother me.
she's been my client for how long? And
Yes.
today's the first day she said to me, by the way, you said my surname incorrectly. Anyway, so that's one of my landmarks to pronounce the surname correctly. So, my question to you today is, let's take self-worth, self-esteem as an example.
Okay.
What are our landmarks on self-worth and self-esteem? Is it? Remember that muscle, please. Is it? I'm not good enough. I can't. It's too hard. I don't have money. Fear of failure. Self-sabotage. Or are our landmarks, I'm a success as a mother who does the best she can for her children, as a great cook, etc. I trust me because the choices I have made through my life have equipped me. And each choice I've made was a teaching. Question you can ask yourself is, what did I learn as to prevent out of those teachings? What did I learn as to prevent you from repeating those choices? So, what is your GPS brain, heart, telling you in turn? What are you telling your mind, your landmark? Because that is where you are heading. Charla?
I think it's very interesting how you bring in your brain as being part of the GPS, because you're right. You plug into your GPS exactly. It gives you the directions. You put in your destination, your landmark, and it gives you the directions. But your GPS can also, it runs out of power, and you need to plug that into some source to be able to switch it on, to be able to see the direction in which you are going. Likewise, you need to plug your brain into something, and you need to be careful what you're plugging your brain into, because if you plug the GPS into the wrong power source, you're not going to, well, a couple of things can happen. It's not going to charge. You could blow the motherboard of it. Exactly the same with your brain. If you are not feeding your brain with the things that you need positively to get to your destination, it's just going to run out, and you're actually never going to get to the landmark that you're wanting to do, that you're wanting to get to in any event. So what are you actually feeding yourself with? Much like, what am I saying to myself? Am I saying, I trust myself, I believe in me? Or am I saying, I don't think I made the right choice there. Oh, I can't do it. Oh no, not me. I'm just not able to. I'm just not worthy. So very important, I think.
I'm going to give an example of a business landmark. I was actually listening to a webinar last night. I belong to the Real Entrepreneur Academy in
Oh
South
yeah?
Africa, and the international. And the speaker, Leon Latachang, was speaking. I was listening to it and I thought to myself, I've got all my landmarks, my visions, my growth, my goals all written down, timelines, etc., purpose, objective. And after he spoke, it was just a refresher for me to go and revisit. So I will give you an example. One of my long-term goals are that I want to awaken, change, transform, heal hundreds and thousands of people is my long term. Okay. And to be specific, like, what am I going to need? What am I going to have to input into the GPS to get to the destination? There's a lot of things that I need to do. I need to put the address in, the etc. Switch my GPS on my cell phone. And to be specific, I need to acquire 2 new clients a week. For me to be able to do that, if it's networking, I have to phone current clients for leads. But leads that they have to phone first and say, listen, Karen's the next best thing to slice bread. She does X, Y, and Z, unlocks you, gets you moving forward out of procrastination to your destination, blah, blah, Bob's your uncle. One of the next things I need to do is actually market myself, social media marketing, as in the marketing platform to actually get out there, to be able to do my courses that I run, etc. And I get more and more specific. So giving myself specific landmarks, and what do I need to do to get there? Number one, in GPS, I need to get dressed. I can't go out in my birthday suit or in my PJs.
You could, but you'd be getting other clients.
Clothing myself, obviously, feeding myself, walking down the stairs, getting into the car, whole lot of things. Setting my mind frame for the day. I mean, I can list a whole lot of things. Getting the car, opening the garage door. There are specific things that actually need to take place for me to get to my destination, my landmark.
Yeah.
Or my endpoint. Put it that far.
Yes.
There are a lot of landmarks to eventually to our endpoint.
Yeah.
So that is a very summary, fluffy an example. I don't want to go very deep into it because that's another conversation. But they used a thing, you want to look it up, the SMART model, SMART with a dot. It's very, very interesting. But we're not here to get into that. Charlotte?
We're not. I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, you're absolutely right. When you need to get to a destination, you've your landmark, your goal, where you actually want to be in life, and then you get things along the way that I'm going to get into my car, I'm going to drive to wherever I need to be to start my marketing of myself, my networking with this specific person, and you get up and you get dressed and you in the right frame of mind and in your car and you press that start ignition button, or you turn the key and it just won't start. Now you're totally thrown off course. Well, you could be. And that's where you then also need to make a decision. So does this mean that I'm just giving up and I'm just going to get out of the car, phone the person and say, well, look, I can't? Or are you actually going to take a different route and say, well, I'm going to Uber, I'm going to run to my neighbor, I'm going to take a bus, I'm going to take a train, phone my client and say, listen, I'm going to be 5 minutes late or whatever. But the point being that it changes along the way. But as long as you've got your landmark in mind and you reflecting on that all the time, the little milestones along the way of how you get there are going to change. 9 out of 10 times they're going to change. You've got everyday life things that happen: diseases, illnesses, death, birth, loss of income, all those things that go into it. So consistently keeping yourself on a path of up here, I've got my GPS, I know where I'm going, then these other little things won't deter you from where you actually need to be. And you'll get there. You'll get there.
Do you know landmarks change?
Yes, they can.
My goal is a specific goal. My vision, my end.
Yes.
Is a specific vision that changes eventually as well when you reach it, so it actually grows.
Yes.
And the landmark, what I mean by landmark change, GPS is a very good example, is that you might take a turn off too soon. Your landmarks definitely change. Your landmarks have definitely changed because now the GPS is going to say, no, drive 150 meters. What did the overseas people say? They don't use kilometers. What is miles? Miles ahead. And then turn right and then turn left, another 20 meters.
Yes.
So those specific in-between landmarks change.
Absolutely. The GPS will even say to you, in 1.2 miles, make a U-turn, turn around, take the roundabout, go back.
Yeah.
Sometimes
turn
you
around.
actually
Actually, got a very good thing there. Turn around, come back. Turn around.
Exactly.
Turn
you actually
around.
need to turn around, go back to the previous landmark, and something there just wasn't right. You need to do it in a different way.
So let's look at our life in having to turn back into pausing, actually.
Yes.
And not turning back as in going backwards.
Yes.
But what does your GPS normally say? Revising, reaffirm. What does it normally say to you?
Redirecting.
Redirecting. So some things might actually happen. For example, feeling being overwhelmed.
Yes.
Something is triggered within you that you realize needs healing. So you just get redirected a bit.
Yeah.
That end goal is still there, but you just redirect it. You allowed fear to hold you back.
Yeah.
And many a time I find in clients where procrastination and fear actually hold them back from actually moving forward.
Yes.
Needing needing support.
Absolutely.
Just a support from a friend, from a coach.
Mm-hmm.
That support structure, that accountability, self-sabotage. So those are all the reader, where all those little Charla called it something now, the things that actually happen in between you getting to your landmark. You had a word for it. You called it something, Charla.
That's a
It's like
milestones.
milestones. There's little milestones that come across, and you just
Yeah,
get redirected. Pause and get redirected.
exactly.
Okay, to reach your destination. Yeah, that was actually very, very, very interesting. That's
If I
actually
can
very
maybe bring it in, and if I'm on a totally wrong path, please correct me, Karin. But it's also, like you say, you get to a point where it says rerouting or redirecting, and that could possibly be because maybe it's not your truth. So you also need to stop and look at that, because maybe what I thought where I was going, it wasn't really working for me because it wasn't really my truth. I mean, if I take myself for an example, I was in a very different career path, if I can call it that, cleaning stormwater lines or sewer lines as a living. And I was never, I never searched for new work, or actually tried to make that business really work. And I got to a point where my GPS says reroute. I got to stop. And it's basically because I was on a totally wrong path. My end goal, my destination of wanting to help, to be involved with people and all of those things is still there. But it's just my route that I was taking was totally wrong. It just was not me.
I'm going to add to that. I'm going to say that you were redirected.
Yes.
The route that you were walking on was actually the correct road and the correct route for then, because you rediscovered yourself,
True.
you learned things, you grew on that path.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
no decision is a mistake. It is
No.
learning. As soon as you change your mind frame to that is learning. But what did I learn? What is it that I actually learned? If you don't know how to actually discover, well, give me a call. But to discover what it is, it's very important to discover what is it that I had to learn out of that situation, that scenario. Once you discover that, it's almost, I'm not saying definite, that it's unlikely that you make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
Not saying it's definite, I'm just saying. So the road that you walked is the correct road. You were just redirected that way. Okay, to a point. So your point and your end destination is to be the truest, authentic self that you can actually be. That is your goal
Yes.
at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
how you get there and how your GPS redirects you, your brain. But remember, I'm going to bring up again, your brain is the strongest muscle. Use it wisely.
Wisely. Yes.
Because rediscovering yourself, you can get stuck.
Absolutely. I mean, I was totally stuck. That's how you found me. Well, that's how I found you. Firmly planted in a very thick mud, maybe even quicksand, and just working with you that is how I am now able to see that, like you say, I've just been redirected, and that things along the way, which used to be a why me? Oh God, I'm just useless and I'll never get this right. And I actually cannot. I'm just always in the wrong path. Is no longer like that anymore. Because like you say, I can see that, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm just being redirected a little bit, but I'm gonna get to where I need to be, where I want to be. And so I just want to say to anybody listening, that's why you pick up the phone and you call Karin if you are feeling like you are in that quicksand and in that thick mud, not being able to get your foot out. Never mind even anything else. Just do that. Do yourself that favor.
Thank you. You can hear a lot of this kind of authentic, down-to-earth conversations between Charla and myself. And if you are interested in being a guest, please give us a call, or at least drop us a line, an email. At the end of the broadcast, you'll actually see a slide with the contact details where you can ask whether you want to be a guest or not. Yes. Charlie, anything else you want to bring across before I end?
I'm just want to say I'm really excited about these conversations. I really do look forward to getting more comments, getting more feedback from you. What you really want to hear, what you really want to know, anything that can help you live authentically. Thank you.
And thank you for being on the show.
Absolute pleasure.
Look forward to next week until we actually have another conversation with Charla and Karin. So for those that actually don't know me, I'm a transformation coach, whereby I assist you to unlock your full potential, to shift, to change, to grow, transforming the essence of self. Your landmarks to reach where you want to reach, to discard and upgrade past programming that have limited you and held you back. So my question to you is, who do you choose to be? Type of people or some clients that come and see me is feeling of being overwhelmed. When you actually think of a goal or a destination to where you want to be, it just becomes far too much. I had that experience 2 weeks ago. And I was doing like 3 courses at once. Sam Cart's a Facebook course, a course with Paul O'Mahaney, the Real Entrepreneur Academy, and there was something else. Groove Funnels. And I was going nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I had this executive coach phone me 2 weeks ago. And I hope he doesn't mind me speaking his name, Leon. And when I told him, and I said, I'm getting so nuts. When I was actually listening to one of the talkers, I got brain freeze. And I'm pretty tech savvy. I got brain freeze. And I said to him, at the end of the day, I'm getting bored. To the extent I'm procrastinating. Then I'm dragging my feet that when I look behind me, I can't even see my feet anymore because I'm not doing what I'm actually passionate about and what I should be doing. So I was being like totally overwhelmed. And he said to me, stop everything. I went, huh?
Pause.
And I sat back and I thought myself, something that I probably tell a client. It's like your GPS. Stop redirecting.
Yep.
And he said to me, what do you need right now? Right now, what do you need? And I'd been influenced and so self-absorbed in those courses. Believe me, it was taking full time and finishing my 2 ebooks for my new rebranding of my website and finishing my trying to finish my book, I put my clients on pause for 2 months. So this question was, what do you need right now? Well, you can guess what I needed right now. And he said, what are you going to do about it? This is what I'm going to do. And so the process actually continued. So that GPS was on a road, which things I had to get done, part of my journey of learning, and then, okay, redirecting to get to where I'm supposed to get to. And yeah, I mean, as coaches, as human beings, as Charla can also tell you, I mean, no matter if you've been to coaching, therapist, practitioner, whatever, we're not perfect. We still go through certain things in life, but we have the tools, correct, Charla?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the important stuff.
Yeah. And people that also come and see is people that want to heal within. There's something inside of them that needs to heal. Rediscovering themselves, or they're stuck in certain areas of their life, or just want to take a quantum leap in their life, needing support or self-sabotage. Their work life and their personal life is out of whack. That's just a few. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to divert. But my question is, why I'm mentioning those things? What is your goal? What do you want to, where do you see your vision? And what landmarks are there that shouldn't be there? What landmarks have you got into place in your GPS, in your mind to actually get there? It's like Charla. She's going to be doing podcasts, and podcasts could be video or auditory, just the video, just sound.
Yeah.
And basically, there are certain things that need to take place. That's her end goal. Okay, there's certain landmarks that she's had to put into place, or busy putting into place to actually get there. Yes. Charlotte, do you want to mention a few of them? Actually, I emailed them to you yesterday. Oh, WhatsApp to them to you yesterday.
Well, absolutely. I mean, firstly, I've actually got to start registering, and I've got to start building up my different medias and platforms on which I'm going to do it. So, for instance, I've got to start up my YouTube channel. I've got to do my proper Facebook page. I've got to do a LinkedIn, Twitter. All those things I've got to get in place, because those are the platforms on which I'm going to be doing these podcasts.
Yeah.
So those are landmarks that I need to get in and start doing.
Yeah. And very much so. And
absolutely.
Now. So I want to wish you a beautiful weekend or week ahead, should I say. And remember, I'm a call away in assisting you to unlock your full potential. Very soon, Charla will be coming on her way with her podcasts. So we look forward to seeing you again, and be safe.
Yes.
And be you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye for now.